he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank y'all for kicking it with the HLS pod. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
I am Terry Ricardo the Sheds II. What's good, baby? We back?
Back. And so is Jrue Holiday in the Eastern Conference. He took a nice 2-day vacation over there in Portland. You know what I mean? He had some micro brews and some artisanal coffee and some foraged mushrooms over there in Portland. And I think he had his fill and said, I'm going back to the East Coast. The Celtics pulled another fucking leprechaun out of their hat, bringing this dude into the team.
Yep.
They traded
Malcolm Brogdon,
Robert
Williams,
and 2 first-round picks.
And 2 first-rounders.
Jrue Holiday, making probably the best defensive backcourt in the NBA with Derek White and Jrue Holiday over there.
That's a crazy one.
This summer, Brad Stevens turned Marcus Smart, Time Lord, Grant Williams, and Malcolm Brogdon into Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday.
Yep.
They were all in for Damian Lillard. They got snubbed. He went to the Bucks. Brad Stevens said, you know what? I'm going to just kick my feet back. I'm going to play some 3D chess while you guys play checkers. And as soon as the Bucks bring in Damian Lillard, we're going to bring back the former Buck, best known for shutting his ass down, stealing his soul in the playoffs in Jrue Holiday. So, Terry, let me get your instant reaction to this move by the Boston Celtics.
Man, I mean, first off, I was surprised it happened so fast. Like, 2 days is crazy. I mean,
yeah, did they even get offers from everybody? Were the Celtics the only ones who called?
Nah, that was crazy as fuck, man. But honestly, I mean, like, Jrue, he deserves it, though, bro. Like, he's good. He's really good defensively. And I think we were talking about this earlier, I think last Friday, we were talking about, like, destinations where Drew's going to go. And Boston was up there for me. And I can't believe they did it. I can't believe they pulled this off, bro. Like, this is the perfect team for him. And I know Boston still could probably benefit from, like, an actual point guard, but, you know, it is what it is. There's really nobody left in the league that can dish it and dime it that they can afford to get. So I think this is perfect, bro. Jrue doesn't have to, carry too much of the offensive load. You got Tatum, you got Brown for that. Derek White is also a decent scorer. No longer do we have to watch Jrue be a fucking second scoring option, and that was horrible to watch. So
go be a fourth option.
Yeah. So I mean, to go from Marcus Smart to Jrue Holiday, which I honestly, to me, I think Jrue Holiday is a better defender than Marcus Smart. So this and Marcus Smart won that defensive player of the year. I don't care about that. Like, I don't think he deserved it. Shout out to him for getting it. Like, no guard has gotten it since Gary Payton. But I think Drew's a better defender than Marcus Smart, bro. I think he's stronger. I think he's quicker. Marcus Smart seemed like he was kind of declining. So I think it's a perfect deal, bro. Boston, shout out to Stevens, bro. He's a better GM than he is a coach. He did
it. That's facts, bro. This dude is like one step ahead always. I will say it's a pick and roll league, and they have probably the 2 best pick and roll defenders at point guards in the entire league on the same team, and Derek White and Jrue Holiday, who both of them just cannot be screened, destroy screens, go over, go under, slip it, spin it. Getting penetration into the lane is going to be a hell of a problem against this Boston Celtics. Yeah, it is going to be hell. But I do wonder who's going to be running the pick and roll for them on the other end.
Derek White, I guess. Is he going to start finally, or is he still going to come off the bench? I'm sure. I don't know who's going to be like the starters for the squad. That's where I'm kind of.
I mean, they got a clear top 6, with White and with Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Porzingis, and Al Horford.
Yeah.
I think they got a lot of lineup flexibility, where they can go bigger when they need to. They can go smaller when they need to. For me, though, this is a bet on Kristaps Porzingis' health. Because, Al Horford is 67 years old. 37 years old, excuse me. Kristaps Porzingis has had like one healthy season in his career last season and already is suffering from plantar fasciitis in his foot.
Yeah. Tough.
They
7-footer with
lost
plantar fasciitis.
serious front court depth. You know, now if one of them can't play, you're going to be counting on Luke Cornett to get out there and soak up minutes, doing his signature blocked corner threes by putting my hands up and jumping in front of the rim type of shit.
Yeah, I don't need to see the rim to shoot, brother. It's called depth perception.
Yeah, right. I think a lot of people have talked about Jrue Holiday and his matchup with Dame and how this is now a nightmare scenario for Dame going to Milwaukee and having to face his nemesis up there.
It's personal, bro.
Yeah. But one thing I don't think people have talked a lot about is that the Celtics have lost all their best Giannis defenders. Robert Williams was a gigantic deterrent at the rim, and the year that Marcus Smart did win Defensive Player of the Year, I would have voted for Robert Williams. Grant Williams did a hell of a job on him in the playoffs for a couple of years in a row, despite not being a mainstay in the rotation. Yep. I don't think Kristaps Porzingis, I think he's too light in the butt to deal with Giannis, frankly.
Yeah.
I feel like Giannis is just going to put him in the fucking stands and do whatever he wants, especially when he gets a head of steam coming off these Dame Lillard pick and rolls. So it really seems like in a sport that prioritizes height and length, the Celtics said, we'd rather go smaller.
Yeah, they went small. I mean, like, Horford is the guy. But like we said, another year, 37. You know, I think he'll probably end up turning 38 while the season is going on. He can play Giannis, but he's the only one on the team. So, I mean, there's still time. Like, it's still early. The season doesn't start for another, I think, like 2-3 weeks. So, there's still time. And then, of course, till the trade deadline, if they want to pick up another big body to see if they can get somebody to help with the Giannis minutes. But, yeah, I mean, they're small. But like we said last year, they shot a shitload of threes with your boy, the coach, Joe Maz. Yep. So, I think this is what they wanted. Now, offensively, I really want to see offensively how it's going to go. Because, like, I know, have you heard, like, Tatum's been working with Paul Pierce over the offseason? Like, he's working with him for, like, 4 weeks or whatever.
On how to cover up shitting your pants? Is that what they focused on?
Well, they said they were working on, like, Tatum driving more or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He'll have more open lanes. I don't think, like, Jrue Holiday's not, like, a fucking splasher. Like, he can shoot, but I'm not necessarily, like, I always say this shit, like, if someone's open and they shoot the ball, do I think they're going to make it or are they going to miss it? And when Jrue shoots it open, I'm like, that might be off. I don't ever think it's automatic. So, I don't know.
Especially in the playoffs. I think a lot of people have gotten bamboozled by these regular season catch and shoot numbers and 3-point percentage numbers. As soon as you get to the playoffs, he's been performing like Eric Bledsoe. Like we saw shooting like 28% from three and all.
It was bad. But he was doing a lot of pull-ups, though. But, I mean, I don't know. I just want to see how they're going to look. Plus, Kristaps's not going to start in the beginning. It might be
I think Celtics fans are going to hope that Jrue Holiday doesn't end up taking more threes in the playoffs. Like, every time there was a big shot, Marcus Smart shot it for the Celtics in the last 5 years. Despite having... Yeah. If Jrue Holiday gets forced into that same role where it's like, we're not going to let Tatum and Brown get off, but we'll leave you wide open, I'm not sure if the results are going to be that much better for the Boston Celtics.
You trust Jrue more on offense or Marcus Smart? That's the thing. I think Drew's a better.
I trust Marcus Smart more, honestly, in like big moments to hit a big three. I mean, he has some bad misses, but he also has hit some big shots, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough, but I like this Bucks versus Celtics. Hopefully that's the matchup we get to see. Miami, fuck off. All right. I'm sick of you guys ruining everything. I don't need you guys ruining this fucking perfect matchup. Jrue Holiday versus Dame. That's what I want to see.
They know they're not in it. That's why Jimmy Butler showed up to media day with his hair permed out saying, I'm emo Jimmy.
You don't have to take your clothes off. What's that song they sang? Those emo kids? Blink 182. We need all those fucking emo songs. What emo song do you know?
None. But I do know Panic at the Disco. I know that's a band, and there's definitely Panic in Miami, seeing as how they did not get anybody this offseason. And
they didn't.
Swung and missed on their biggest targets. And had key contributors leave for other playoff teams.
Pat Riley out here trying to strong arm people, man. Ain't nobody going for that bullshit no more. Hey, yo, let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
If the Bucks knew that Jrue Holiday would go to an Eastern Conference team, contender at that, do you think they'd redo what they did to get Dame? Or are they okay
No,
with it?
because it was the only way to keep Giannis.
Yeah, I guess. This is tough though. I mean, Jrue Holiday and Derek White for 48 minutes on Dame Lillard and Tatum or Brown, like that's
That's
tough,
crazy
man. Like
defense.
Dame is really good. Like I get most offensive players are still going to get their buckets off, but I don't know, man. That's a lot to ask from.
At the
I mean,
same
I get
time,
it.
we've made a lot of Jrue Holiday shutting down Dame Lillard. On that Portland team, there was no one else who was going to score besides like pint-sized CJ McCollum playing a redundant
I mean,
position.
that's
It's going to
true,
be an
but
entirely different dynamic when you have to, like, they were putting two up at the level of the screen fucking 30 feet away from the basket and forcing it out of Dame's hands. And then Drew was just like, you're not getting this ball back the rest of the possession. That's not going to be able to happen when you have Giannis rolling with a head of steam. Like, you cannot put two
yeah,
people up on a level of the screen and be like, oh, I'm sure Giannis won't beat us once he's already taken 5 steps towards the rim.
I guess. But I'm telling you, bro, like if you stop somebody, like Dame was a 30 point, per game scorer, bro, and he was getting 22 a game in Milwaukee, dog. Like that's a big drop off. I mean, I get the team is way better, but 8 point difference. I don't know, man. That I feel like they kind of regret it in a way, but hopefully, if Dame says he's that guy, I think he's the guy as well. But that's really tough, man. That's tough. Jrue is tough as fuck, man. I used to hate on him, but that guy's a really good fucking defender, and I just don't want to see that. Chris Middleton, you gotta stay healthy. Stay healthy, Chris. They need Chris.
They
That's
100%. I mean, we
it's gonna be
talked about
beautiful.
his fit as a third banana. Um, for the Boston Celtics, it's like their identity when they went to the championship was we're going to be huge and we're
The
going to play
finals.
stifling defense. Yeah, when they went to the finals, they're like,
Yeah,
we're going to protect the rim and you're not going to get anything in the paint and you're going to have to take a bunch of contested off the dribble threes to beat us. And
and
Steph
they
Curry,
played the Warriors.
yeah, he was, Steph Curry was like, hold my beer, Boston.
Yeah, like come on,
But
that was
that
dumb.
it still seemed to be a formula that like they rode to the best defense in the league. It was the identity of their team. They had the most success with it out of any of the iterations of the Boston Celtics that we've seen make the playoffs since the bubble. And
Yeah,
now that identity is gone. They've traded in what's made them most successful for a guard oriented and an offensive oriented approach, clearly built in Joe Mazzulla's vision. So I'm
yeah.
really I'm interested to see what the Celtics teams look like and how they hold up against the highest level of competition. Hopefully, like you said, we will get a Bucks Celtics Eastern Conference Finals. That is,
Yeah,
if the
but
Hawks are not still in contention.
before you forget about it, Kristaps is not Robert Williams, but he still is a good weak side blocker. I'll give him
Yeah,
that for sure. Like he's always
yeah.
gotten at least a block and a half throughout his whole career, so I'm not gonna say
He's
he's
not
a
he's not
great
blocking
defender.
corner threes though, like Robert
Nah,
Williams was coming
nah,
from the paint.
he's not doing shit like that. But he's not a slouch. Like you can't just go in there and be like, oh, it's Kristaps at the rim, layup. Nah, it's not that easy. But like you said, we'll see. You want to look at this trade on the perspective of Portland real quick. And what the hell were they thinking?
Portland, I'm not sure why they'd want Malcolm Brogdon back or Time Lord to play the same position as DeAndre Ayton, who was the blue chip asset they just acquired.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just like, you know what, we'll take a punt on two really talented young big men with question marks, and one of them has to pan out. But I will say, in terms of just assets, Portland turned Damian Lillard into DeAndre Ayton, Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, a 2024 pick, 2028 pick, 2029 pick, 2029 another pick, and a 2030 Bucks pick swap. That's one,
Who you
two,
got?
three, four, 5 picks: DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, and Malcolm Brogdon. That's a hell of a haul for a 33-year-old point guard who's going to be making $60 million in a couple years.
in
So
4 years.
even
Yeah.
though I didn't think that they would have taken the deal for Brogdon and Time Lord, when you look at it all, just like take a step back and look at the two transactions as one, I mean, that's a better return than the Pelicans got for Anthony Davis.
It's a good return. I'm just interested in like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be good or do you want to be bad? Because I think the team that they have, they definitely aren't contenders, of course. They might be able to make the playoffs, but the West is tough. And I don't like the guys are too good for them to suck. It's kind of like the Utah Jazz situation last year. Like when they clearly everyone was like, all right, they should tank. But then when you looked at their roster, you're like, they're actually pretty good. And when they started the season off, they were like way too fucking good. And they ended up getting a shitty pick. And they ended up drafting somebody that probably wasn't on their list when they, first looked at the draft in 2023. So I think it's a similar situation to Utah. Unless Scoots just comes out sucking.
Yeah,
If they just give him 40 minutes a game and he just isn't great and they're just ride with him.
I think if they want to lose some games, they can always pull to OKC with Poku and just put Shaden Sharp out there for 35 minutes.
Just have him play.
Yeah.
It's just interesting because they got talent. They have like 7 dudes that are like decent. Because you got Scoot, Brogdon, Jeremy Grant, Shaden Sharp, Anthony Simons, Robert Williams, Time Lord. It's too much talent, bro. And DeAndre Ayton. That's a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
That's too many dudes that are good. And they're not as sucky as Houston. So I'm just confused as to what they're trying to do. Like, you just want to be in the middle? That's fine. If you just want to be in the middle and continuously try to, develop everybody, I get it. But I just feel like everyone needs to pick what they want to do. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I agree. I agree. I didn't think that they'd want, like, proven players right now. I thought they'd want young prospects and, picks that could end up being really valuable. Not necessarily picks from the Celtics and the Bucks, which are going to be at the end of the first round.
It's October 3rd, 2023. You got to pick in 2028 and in 2030. Like, that's so fucking long from now. Like, don't
forget the 2 picks in 2029 from the Bucks and the Celtics.
Dude, we accumulated all these picks. Who the fuck is going to be in the draft? You looking at 7th graders? Like, what are we doing here, bro? The players they got is cool, but they still need developing. It's just, and then when everybody gets good at one time, you can't even pay them all. If everybody pans out to be good, problem. Right? You ain't got no money. You can't pay them.
We already know Robert Williams and Ayton cannot play together. Like, that's gonna be a platoon situation going forward, I would imagine.
Well, Ayton wants to shoot middies.
Yeah, you're going to have to step out there and shoot threes if you're going to play with Robert Williams, bro.
Nah, for sure. He can't shoot for shit. I don't know. What do you think? I feel like you like it, but then you're also just looking at it like, I don't know.
I wouldn't have made this deal. Like, I don't understand the urgency to make this before media day. Like, everybody had the understanding that Jrue Holiday was not going to be there. I don't give a fuck if he, like, does interviews for the team. Like, that doesn't make us look bad.
Yeah.
What makes us look bad is not gathering offers from the entire NBA.
It's too quick, man.
I definitely feel like there was a better deal out here and a better fit as well in terms of what you were talking about with the timeline and having a bunch of players in the same age. And
you can't develop 5 dudes.
Yeah, at the end of the day, though, it's a hell of a haul for an aging player. And I do think Portland needs to be applauded for how much return they got on Damian
Small
Lillard,
market.
who's on probably one of the worst contracts in the league, to be honest.
It's not worse than Chris Paul's and Russell Westbrook, so it can't be worse than that. He's better than those 2 guys, so I got no complaints about that. Milwaukee had to do something. They did what they could. So they got Dame. You got 2 years to win a championship. Now you get to play against the Celtics. I just think Portland was like, fuck Dame. We're going to send you here, but we know what we're going to do it later. It seemed like it was like a clear plan. They're like, yeah, Dame, go ahead, go to Milwaukee. He's like, oh, good, I'm with Giannis. And they're like, Jrue, go to Boston.
Did you see Dame trying to go back to Portland? Did you see any of those reports that he went back to the facility and he got snubbed by the GM and he was like, well, if I'm not getting traded to Miami, then I'll play another season here. And they were like, no, Like, fuck you. Absolutely not. And then he was so surprised, like, talking about how Portland did him dirty and snubbed him and all this shit. Bro,
Yeah.
you can't go out there and you're married, right? You
Yeah.
cannot put out to Shay that you want to cheat on her for Taylor Swift. And then after making overtures with Taylor Swift all summer long, be like, actually, I don't think it's going to work out with Taylor. Babe, I'm coming home.
Yeah. Nah, that's not gonna work at all. It won't work. And Dame, it's not the NFL. It's not like you can sit behind a fucking starting quarterback for a couple of years and then be like, oh yeah, now you're ready to start, and then just be good. You got to play. And if you were there, Scoot wouldn't be able to play. There's no point in you being there. You had to go, unfortunately.
Well, Terry, speaking of having to play, first you have to show up, which is something James Harden has already refused to do. He did not report to the Sixers media day. We saw him in the club having bottle service with a sign that says Daryl Morey is a liar.
Yo, let's go, bro. Stick to your guns, James. The best quitter of all time is James Harden, man. Nobody's touching that, man. Nobody's touching the mantle. What?
Not even the Clippers?
Ooh. Nah. I can't. Vince Carter. Maybe a little Vince Carter. But Big James, he quit on 3 teams. This is a 3rd team. You can't do that. Daryl Morey is a liar.
And they still act surprised. Like, oh, what? James!
How could you do this? Like,
right.
Come on, bro.
This is the girl that, like, was cheating on her boyfriend with you, and then you start dating her, and now you get surprised that she's cheating on you. Like, what do you think was going to happen, my guy?
No, that's super facts. Dude, so are we on Embiid watch right now?
Yeah, I think it's official. I know the Knicks part of you is getting aroused and engorged just seeing this. Joel Embiid tweeting out, this offseason was fun, and then deleting it.
Yeah. I mean, I know he wants to go to a big market. Look, as a Knicks fan, that still our team is decent, and that's all we give a fuck about. Like, of course, we want to win a championship, and of course, we want to have a star. But like, at the same time, it's not the same as like when we were hoping for someone and we sucked. So like, I don't feel the same. Just as a Knicks fan. Now, as a Sixers watcher, as somebody who roots for Embiid, he's not my favorite guy. Like I said, anybody who scores 0 points, I'm not fucking with you, and I'll never get back on his side. He got me for a second, but now I'm off the bandwagon completely. I don't know what they're going to do, bro. Do you think Harden is going to play? Like, what are they going to do? He tanked his fucking trade value. So
I think he's going to play. If he doesn't report in 30 days, he'll lose his ability to be a free agent next summer. I think he's going to
against the players are crazy. Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
No, you good. He's going to do exactly what I wrote about that he did in Houston and predicted that he'd do for Brooklyn. He's going to show up 20 pounds overweight, walk around, miss a bunch of layups, refuse to shoot, catch and shoot threes, and just generally look terrible. And then the second he's traded, he's going to shed the fat suit and get to the rim 9 times a game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to keep working. The older you get, the harder it is to get back in shape. He's an elite fucking athlete, but you can't keep doing this shit. How old is he now? 33?
Listen, I don't think he's actually getting fatter. I think he's just poking his stomach more. That's my theory. I think he's just not sucking it in, and he's just letting it all hang out. And people are just like, what? And he's really out there concentrating on just pushing that belly out when he's on the court. That's what all his energy is going to.
Bruh, he got that Zion body. He got that fucking running back body. Like, he can gain weight 20 pounds easy, and he can lose 20 pounds easy. That's just who he is. He's a fluctuating.
He got that Honey Who Shrunk Kendrick Perkins body.
Oh, Lord. You think he's built like Kendrick? That's tough.
I mean, minus the combat boots, but everything else.
Nah, man. They're still a good team. I just don't, they're not going to win or anything. Like, if Embiid would have to, that's the thing, though. If Embiid's healthy, they still do have a chance. But he's never been healthy, like, in the playoffs, so it kind of defeats the purpose. I think, honestly, bro, if Embiid wants to talk to James one-on-one, they still have a legitimate chance. And if, like, Nurse takes over and he's like, look, dude, you already won your MVP. You're already a first ballot Hall of Famer. What do you need next? You need that ring. The big two Europeans got it. Jokic
And James
Giannis.
Harden goes, a trade. I'm sure Nick Nurse is really excited on the prospects of coaching James Harden. I'm sure that's why he took the job. And if you're the Sixers, I mean, has anybody had a worse last 4 months than the Philadelphia 76ers? They went from being the number 1 seed in the East and expecting to go to the NBA Finals to not having one of their star players report for media day for the second time in 3 years after Ben Simmons did this just 2 seasons ago.
Yep. And we called Daryl Morey a fucking genius after that trade. Now look at him. Look at him.
Look at him.
Now, I don't even like. Can we even evaluate these trades as soon as they happen? We should just like wait. I feel like we just need to wait a year. Like nobody say shit. Just see what happens. Because every year the NBA changes. It's been a big offseason move every fucking year for what, the past 5 or 6 years?
Yeah,
maybe even 7. Like I don't even know what to do. Like this is our job. They keep fucking switching it up like every 30 days. It's
somebody who's
cycle now.
I know somebody who's hoping that James Harden won't report, and that's Tyrese Maxey, who's like, can I finally get the keys to the car? Okay. I'm tired of sneaking out my parents' window in the middle of the night to joyride around the neighborhood. Give me the keys and let me go.
I don't think Maxey's going to be ever as good as Harden. What's a good destination for Harden, though, if they decide to trade him?
The Guangdong Tigers!
China? Hell no. Hey, I said blackball him a couple months ago.
I think his Clippers are bust at this point. I mean, like, I don't...
They got all those tanking rules, though. Or resting rules.
Yeah. I think another interesting one on a team that has swung and missed that we talked about briefly this offseason could be Miami. Yeah. Send him Kyle Lowry, maybe 1 pick. And suddenly you got an elite offensive creator to take some of the load off Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo can cover up for some of his defensive miscues. Miami likes to play a switching style of defense, which is what James Harden is best at, defending bigger players in the post.
Yeah.
He certainly doesn't want to move his feet on the perimeter. So
Nope.
I think those two... No. Kyle Lowry and a pick. No. You're past the point, James Harden. Just to get rid of him. Just to clear the books and have an asset and have a competent player next to Joel Embiid so they don't have to answer questions about this James Harden circus all the way to the trade deadline.
Oh, man. I think Miami would do, like, Hero in a pick.
No. I'm telling you, James Harden's value is so low at this point. Like, he's shot himself in the dick at every single turn. I just don't see any teams giving up like a real asset like that for a dude who's been disgruntled at every single stop.
But don't you agree? Like, he'd be great for Miami, though. Like, that's
probably
a perfect fit.
I think that's the place to salvage it. You get him on the body fat counter and all the like fitness plans that they have over there. Get his ass into like real.
If you're Philly, you're not taking Kyle Lowry. Like, no. Daryl Morey's not doing that.
I'd do it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not dealing with this for a whole season. Like, we got championship aspirations.
Do you know who the GM of Philly is? That guy is stubborn as fuck.
Give me a pick. Give me Kyle Lowry, whose salary expires at the end of the year. Kyle Lowry will have value again in midseason as a big expiring contract. Like, for when the next superstar gets disgruntled in 3 months, they can give Kyle Lowry and that pick back to them. And that team would love to have a $30 million player whose money comes off their books.
You were correct in your first part of that statement. As a big. There's no other part. Kyle Lowry is just a big. He's not good at anything anymore. We saw him in the finals. He's got experience. He's getting buckets. They were fucking going to lose anyway. It didn't even matter. Like, he can't stay healthy during the regular season. Why do I want somebody who can't play any games?
And yet Kyle Lowry in the finals at the age of 33 looked better than James Harden in the finals at the age of 23.
Nah, man. I can't go for that. But, I don't know. It's all conjecture. We don't really know what the fuck's going to go. So I don't know what James Harden's going to do, bro. I really
Pour,
don't.
pour some out for the 76ers. What a fall from grace. You guys were on the
Bro.
top of the mountaintop. You had Doc Rivers. Everything was looking up. Joel Embiid finally wins the MVP, gets recognized as the best player in the league, and look at you now.
What if they do Harden for Ben Simmons? Do it back. Run it back. No?
At this point, I think you could do Omri Caspi for Ben Simmons.
Ooh, man, damn. You think Harden is just complete garbage now, huh? His whole value is just off the charts trash. Just below zero.
Who wants to bring in this circus? 3 stops in a row. As soon as he doesn't get everything he wants, he just becomes a petulant little kid and is like, yeah, I'm just going to throw this whole team franchise under the bus. Doesn't matter that Daryl Morey is the person, responsible for all the success in my career. Stuck his neck out for me when, nobody else wanted me.
He's a top 5 shooting guard of all time.
Has a goddamn canvas oil painting of me hanging in his living room.
Right.
James Harden said, "Nah, I'm not just burning bridges. I'm burning paintings."
Okay. So James Harden, top 5 shooting guard of all time. Nobody wants him.
No,
Got it.
They don't. Maybe Miami, maybe the Clippers. Can you think of anyone else outside those teams that right now, with 2 weeks left of the NBA season, would be open to adding James Harden?
He doesn't make sense to any other contender, really, right now. Those teams make sense. Miami makes sense. They could use another playmaker. And, of course, the Clippers could... I don't care if he goes to LA, to the Clippers. They're going to suck. What if the Lakers can finagle some shit? They still got the D'Lo shit. They still got that D'Lo contract. They still got that pick.
Yeah, I don't like that at all for the Lakers.
Nah,
man. Harden is completely useless without the ball in his hands. I don't know if you heard of this guy.
He can shoot. He shoots like 38% from 3.
Yeah, but look at the catch and shoot numbers. He turns them down all the time, and he makes them. He's like J.R. Smith. He shoots like 7% worse on catch and shoots than he does off the dribble, and he refuses to take them constantly. I don't know if you've heard of this guy named LeBron James, who plays over there for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Hold on.
He likes to have the ball in his hands too, and so does Austin Reeves, who was probably the USA's best player with the ball in his hands at the World Cup this year.
Absolutely not. Anthony Edwards was on the team. I'm
talking about creating an offense, not just getting buckets.
Got you. I saw James Harden defer to Embiid multiple times. I saw him shoot threes. Even if he shoots 32%. That shit's better than D'Angelo Russell. That shit's better than Russell Westbrook. And that shit's better than fucking, not Kyle Lowry.
It's not better than Gabe Vincent, who's on the roster.
Not hero. Not Gabe Vincent. That's tough. I don't know. It's better than D'Lo. If they can finagle it, do it. I mean, shit, bro. If you're telling me, and I know you're not a GM, and this is a fucking joke, but if you're telling me you're willing to trade Kyle Lowry in a pick for James Harden, you wouldn't take D'Lo in a pick for James Harden? If I'm
No, because Kyle Lowry has a big salary that you can match to another superstar, and it's expiring. So that's a pretty valuable contract to have on your books. For when Brandon Ingram decides that he's had enough in New Orleans or whoever else next. You know what I mean?
He couldn't even play for this garbage ass Team USA team that didn't win a medal. So go ahead, Brandon Ingram. Be disgruntled if you want. You're not good. And I'm gonna say it phonetically. You not good. You suck. You trash. Get the fuck out of here, bro. He's garbage.
Well, him or another guy like that. Something like that.
I hear you.
That's just what I'm saying. I'd rather have, and at least Kyle Lowry is a fucking winner. You're pairing him back up with Nick Nurse, where he won a championship. They already have a good relationship.
All right, now you're making more of a compelling argument. I can hear it now. I can hear the music. I'm turning the volume up a little bit.
I think at some point you just don't want to have dysfunction every single day when you go to work. It takes a toll on everyone in the building having to deal with this over and over and over again. And at some point, even if the talent is a drop off, it's can we just have a professional who shows up and works and I don't have to answer 8 questions a day about?
No, that's true. That's true. Or I could just ignore all the questions. Keep it moving. I mean, but I don't know. Embiid's a troll.
Just like Daryl Morey has done to James Harden. Ignored his trade request. Ignored the promise that he gave him to give him an extension. Ignored the fact that he's going out in nightclubs with gigantic boards that say Daryl Morey is a liar. Daryl Morey just keeping it pushing. He's like, you know
Hey,
what?
man.
I've been scorned before. This ain't
The
gonna phase me.
player is always going to win. If my neck and my back hurts, mental health, there's nothing you can do about it, bro. Harden can hold out and be like, "Oh, I'm hurt, bro. Hamstring, pulled it." How you
Yeah,
gonna check?
right. I got a secondary medical opinion like Kawhi Leonard that
Yeah,
conflicts
I
with
mean,
what all the team doctors say, and I physically can't play.
there's literally nothing you can do about it. And Kawhi, did you see what Kawhi said about the resting shit?
Yeah. He was like, dude, the rules are not going to make me play. I was hurt.
Like, come on. You can't stop these players from doing whatever they want.
No.
It's done. I don't know where Harden's going to go, but he ain't playing for Philly.
I know if anyone's stubborn enough to test it, though, it's that man, Daryl Morey.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. He might, but if he gets a deal that looks decent, he'll take it. He'll definitely take it. So, he's
All right,
stupid,
man.
but he ain't that stupid.
Speaking of stupid, Terry, that's a perfect transition to your Chicago Bears, who wasted the first good game of Justin Fields' career, up 28-14, somehow found a way to choke it away to Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. In the last 10 days, Terry, Justin Fields has been on record saying he's not being used properly. Chase Claypool has been dismissed by the team. Your defensive coordinator's house has been raided by the FBI, and he's been fired. And your Bears defense made Russell Wilson look like Super Bowl winning Russell Wilson, despite him not playing a good game in 5 years.
Yeah, he's back. He's back. Our defense sucks, though. But yeah. Crazy fucking game, huh? Everybody thought that was going to be the poof factor.
Everybody
thought that game was going to suck.
0-4. Tank it out. Caleb Williams, you already buying, watching USC tape? Seeing how he's going to translate?
We already started to tank when the season started. Whenever you thought, hey, Justin, be a pocket passer, that's when you decided to tank. When you said Justin passed the ball, tank. We're tanking right now. Now, did he look good for 2.5 quarters? Yeah, he looked good for 2.5 quarters. He didn't finish the game. It is what it is. Do I think Caleb Williams is better than Justin Fields right now? No.
Yeah. What?
No, I don't think he's better than him right now as we speak. Justin Fields has played in the NFL for 3 years. I got to see Caleb Williams play a single snap in the NFL to see if I think he's great or not. He looked good in college. College football is way different, man.
I'll tell you what, even if you do get Caleb Williams in the draft, you cannot allow this coaching staff to be around to help nurture and
no,
because they will find a way to fuck up a generational prospect. I have no faith. This Chicago Bears coaching job has got to be up there with the very worst in NFL history, man.
They're fucking this up bad. You think Chase Claypool? I don't know what's going on with him. That's unfortunate. DJ Moore did his thing. Here's the thing with the offensive coordinator and the head coach, and this is what Justin Fields was talking about. Basically, he said they give him a play call, right? And you get 35 seconds for the play clock, 40 seconds, whatever the fuck. As it's going down, they give him a play call, but then they're in his fucking ear still for like 15 to 20 seconds saying, you need to look out for this. If the safety moves here, you do that. If the linebacker is giving you this look, you do this. Blah, 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 blah. He gets the fucking, to the line. 5 seconds on the goddamn clock. He's like, shit. All right, I need to snap it. You forget everything that they were saying, and now he's rushed. And the O-line sucks anyways. Just fucking call the play. Let him do what he can do. If he sucks, he sucks. If he's good, he's good. Yeah, let him play. Like, stop doing too much in his fucking ear. Just
they're out here fucking joysticking like a rec soccer coach. You know what I mean? Yeah. Trying to control every single part of the process. That he's not going to get any better if you take away his ability to make all these reads and process these visual cues and to play free. Like I didn't hear that, but that just makes me upset. Like nobody could succeed in that environment.
That's exactly what he was saying. He was like, they're just doing too much in my head. Like I just give me the call and play. I think he's good, dude. Like from what you've seen, don't you think he's decent? They're letting him develop his pocket passing, which I said this week 1. I was like, they're letting him do what he needs to do. He needs to develop as a passer. We already know he's one of the best runners in the quarterback position ever in the NFL, but I don't know. I've seen enough. I think he's decent. Like if you want to tank, and I think they can build a team around him. I
we
really
won't
do. Like,
we won't know if he's decent or not until he leaves the Bears. That's the only way that we'll find out if he's
I don't
actually
think it's
decent.
that. It's just like they do need other defensive pieces and they do need O-line pieces. So
If you guys just had a dominant defender like Khalil Mack, who had 6 sacks on Sunday, if you could just get your hands on a guy like that, man, that would be a life changer.
They traded him long before. I don't know if it's the same GM who traded him because that was what 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. That was before Fields was there, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's the same GM or not, but we definitely need to. We need to do a lot. We've had 4 different coaches in the past couple of years, man. It's just tough.
Well,
it's tough to watch, man.
The good news is, Terry, the future is still bright because you guys are on pace to have the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick because the Carolina Panthers are also 0-4, and you have their pick for next season.
So for you're taking Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm going to tell you this right now. I think if we do get the number 1 pick, I think we're in a good and advantageous spot to use that to do what the opposite of what the Panthers did. Like get multiple other like first round picks.
So you mean do what you did last summer that led you to being the
shit.
So and that made you the worst team in the NFL. And you're like, let's run this back. Let's do the same thing again.
We got to, even whatever quarterback you put in this position is not going to be good.
That's what I'm saying. You got to get rid of the whole coaching staff. Like when
that's what I'm saying. You get rid of them.
Yeah.
But we need to trade the first round pick and get more picks.
You already about to have the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams with number 1 and Shedeur Sanders with number 2 and be like, we're going to let him compete. Iron sharpens iron. It's the Windy City.
Honestly, bro, if we did do that, that'd be awesome because then we could use them as trade bait, baby. Everybody who wants to get traded, who wants Justin Fields, give me the best offer for Justin Fields, Shedeur Sanders, and Caleb Williams. Let's do it. Let's change up how we think about sports. You guys thought we were fucking, behind the ball. We're in front of the ball. Who wants them?
Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
I like Justin Fields, bro, but if it's just it doesn't matter who's going to be the quarterback. If your O-line sucks, how many fucking how many quarterbacks we saw this year? Like Joe Burrow when he had no fucking line. He can't do shit. Patty Mahomes in the Super Bowl versus the Bucks. He couldn't do shit. Tom Brady versus the Giants. If your O-line is getting fucking ran through like a common street whore, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He's going to get sacked. They can't find anybody. You need more than fucking 1.8 seconds to throw the ball. Like, I don't... Getting Caleb Williams is not going to solve anything.
I know the future. I know it seems bleak right now, Terry, but I really do believe
Desmond Ridder.
With a fucking we'll get to him in a second, Terry. You know what? Fuck it, we'll get to him right now. The Falcons fell to 2-2. Desmond Ridder put together one of the worst QB performances I've ever seen in my life.
I tried to tell you, he sucked.
He threw a pick six, and then the next play he threw an interception, and then the next play after that, he had an interception that was two-handed dropped by Jags cornerback Darius Williams. I've never seen somebody try to give the ball to the other team 3 times in 3 plays in a row. After we drafted Kyle Pitts 4th, this dude has like 8 catches on the year. Drake London out there. Through 4 games, Terry, Drake London and Kyle Pitts have combined for 22 touches. Atlanta is averaging 4.8 points in the first half of games this year, which ranks dead last in the league. With this collection of talent, dude, with having Kyle Pitts, with having Bijan Robinson, who's been sensational. I mean,
he's great.
He's second behind McCaffrey in terms of like percentage of yards accounted for in terms of like the total team. He's getting 32% of all of our yardage, all of our production in one player. 32%.
Great pick. And everybody talking about this running back shit, shut the fuck up if the dude's generational. That's all I'm saying. Great fucking pick. Dude's great. Kyle Pitts, on the other hand, I don't know.
despite us having like a top 10 defense, like per all the metrics, the Falcons have led on the scoreboard for only 14% of plays this season, which is the
Yep.
worst percentage since 2000.
That's
Desmond
tough, bro.
Ritter, like they're already getting the questions at halftime. Are you guys going to go Taylor Heineke? Like they didn't even wait
told ya.
they didn't even wait to the end of the game. The sideline reporter's like, "So is Taylor hurt? Like what's going on here?"
Brother, I
I think-
tried to tell you.
My biggest takeaway is this, Terry. Not making a move for Lamar Jackson looks worse every single week.
Oh, it's dumb, idiotic. But Deshaun Watson, he was the savior. Stupid, fucking stupid. You guys are fucking idiots. I told you Desmond Ritter sucked, and I told you if you get Taylor Heineke, that people are gonna start asking about him like week 4. I don't remember exactly what number I said, but when we had the NFL preview, I told
I think it was low. I think it was like week 4 that you said.
told you. I might have said 6 to just give him a break because I want him to succeed. He's a black quarterback, of course, but he's not good. And you kept saying, no. You know, we run this, we run that, we run it. If you can't score and you can't keep up, you're gonna have to throw it. And you got all these talented dudes, and your O-line is decent. Am I correct? Like your protection is not that bad. Like he has time to throw most of the times.
Pass blocking has not been good. Run blocking has been.
So the pass blocking is shit. So
Yeah,
it's just
it's-
another
it-
situation where they suck at that, and he
Yeah.
can't find anybody.
Yeah.
Short routes. Kyle Pitts, get open.
I will say
Let go of the ball.
for
Max
as
protect.
like as fast as Desmond Ritter is, he's not elusive and he doesn't have like good feet in the pocket. He's taking a lot of like 15 to 20 yard sacks just running straight back and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna outrun this D-end and D tackle." Like, no, dog.
don't know.
You know,
It's
you
crazy,
see
man.
like Lamar Jackson and stuff, and it's like they may look like they're, you know, rolling out 8 yards or whatever, but then they stop
Yeah.
and go back up in the pocket and then re-navigate. And these big 300-pound guys are like, God damn, you know, all this change of direction is hard. Desmond Ritter is like, I'll just press sprint and get out of here. And that's not how it works, bro.
Nah. You got to let it develop. Yeah. I mean, like, for as good as y'all are at running, I'm just so shocked that your play action passes.
We
Does
can't throw it more than 7 yards downfield, Terry.
He's a
Is
joke,
it-
bro.
Bro,
Bring in Tyler.
his expected points added negative 15.5.
That's fucking horrible. You got to get him out of there, man. You scored 6 points last week. You scored 7 versus the Jags. He's got to go, bro. I mean, he can start week 5, but if you once again, who do y'all play week 5? The Falcons? Who do the Falcons
Texans
play?
and CJ
God.
Stroud, who's actually been playing pretty well.
I told you CJ was supposed to be the guy. Shout out to the Panthers, though. Yeah, I don't know, man. If he looks bad versus the Texans, who look frisky, you know, shout out to D'Amico Ryans, but if he looks bad versus them, I think it's time. And you let Tyler Heineke start versus the Commanders, you get that revenge game, I think you might be looking towards the future, bro. Because you're Drake London and Kyle Pitts, they're too fucking good. Like, they're good.
At least one thing we know about Taylor Heineke is that he'll throw it deep and give his guys a chance to make some big plays. Like, he may turn
I
the
like
ball
him.
over a little bit too, but you know what? Our entire wide receiving core is 6'5". Like, at some point, you got to put the ball up and let them make a play. And
Give him a chance.
Instead of throwing 9-yard darts into triple coverage over the middle of the field.
So have you given up on Ritter?
I haven't given up, but I'm at the point where, like, I've packed my bags, but I haven't left the house.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think there's slight hope because you did beat the Packers, who seem to be a decent team. So I'll give you that. But I don't know. It's just like if Bijan and Algier aren't carrying the team, you guys can't win.
The play calling has to improve too. Like, we start games too conservatively, being like, "Oh, we're just gonna run it, and we're gonna run it, and now it's 3rd down, and Desmond Ritter is gonna throw a 6-yard pass to the other team." Like,
Yeah.
this formulaic approach is why we've averaged, what was it, 4.7 points in first halves this season.
That's
4.7
crazy.
points per half. That's for the whole season, including the
It's better than
games
the
we
Giants.
won.
That's insane. That's insane. That is pretty bad, bro. Holy
So
shit.
it's like we cannot wait until we're down 14 to open it up and to like start attacking on the perimeter and doing our jet
Yeah.
sweeps and our toss cracks and rolling Ritter
Yeah.
out of the pocket and moving it and taking shots
Yeah.
downfield. We need to do that from the first minute of the game and not like be so conservative, being like, if we could just hang around to the fourth quarter, if we
Well,
could
you know
just
your
keep
boy
it a
Arthur loves
close
to
game.
run.
I know
You
he
know your
does
boy Arthur
too,
Smith loves
but
running.
we have all these creative run packages. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be the Jason Garrett offense of first run up the middle, second run off tackle, third down, throw a short pass. Like it doesn't work.
I'm so sick of fucking teams doing that to start the game off too. It's just like, bro, you know that's gonna just pass it. Pass it the first play of the game. How about you switch it up once? It might work. It might not. But at least you fucking did something different.
Until Desmond Ritter becomes the first player to throw a pick six on the first play of the game.
I'm sure that's happened before, but I don't know, bro. Give me a play action first player. Something. Something's got to change. If Desmond Ritter, if you don't trust Desmond Ritter this much, then he has to be on the bench.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
It just seems like you don't trust him at all. So if you don't trust him, and you got Kyle fucking Pitts, you drafted him first round, 4th pick. You can't draft a fucking catching receiver or tight end and not throw the fucking ball. I understand you just drafted Bijan and you're giving him the ball, but you gotta let fucking Kyle Pitts get some targets. Something. I need at least 14 targets a game.
Every time he does get targeted, it's in triple coverage, and he has to play cornerback and like slap the ball out of 6 different defenders' hands.
I don't know, man.
It's been tough to watch so far.
You don't want to waste this defense y'all got, though.
Right. Calais Campbell, he's not gonna. He's what, 36 years old, something like that. That's ancient old for NFL terms. Like we need to not waste this season of him. Yeah, that's how we'll wrap that up. Speaking of the Dolphins came off of putting 70 points up against the Denver Broncos and then getting dismantled by the Buffalo Bills.
He's back.
The Bills lost their first game of the season to the New York Jets. Since then, they've won 3 in a row by 28 points or more.
They didn't just lose. That shit was fucking absolutely horrific. It was pathetic by Josh Allen. I don't know what the fuck that was. But since then, Madden cover.
Three straight victories of at least 28 points. Only team to do that 4 times in a row is the 1942 Chicago Bears. Josh Allen is leading the NFL with a 76% completion percentage and has 8 touchdown passes and 1 interception in the last 3 weeks. Bills.
He's beasting, bro.
I know we've been questioning him at times. We talked about Josh Allen, the turnover machine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe we were a little too hard on the Buffalo Bills, Terry?
No. If you watched the fucking game in week 1, nobody was too hard. He played like shit. He played bad, bro. He was just throwing it for no reason. He was getting hit for no reason. He was just making bad decisions. I don't think anybody was in the wrong for saying that he's playing bad because he did it from like week 10 or maybe week 12 until the first game of this season this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was bad. He had more turnovers and touchdowns, or it might have been the same.
Led the NFL in turnovers during the last, 2 seasons up until week 1.
I don't think anybody was too harsh. We're only being harsh to someone. Well, that's not true. If you suck, you suck. But like
keep in mind what you just said about Desmond Ritter, Terry.
No. But like we expected Josh Allen to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it's like most of the quarterbacks in the league right now this year are pretty bad. So we're like, come on, Josh, you can't be sucked in with all the rest of these fuckers. Like you're good, and he's proven that he's very great. And of course, did he need a little bit of momentum versus like Oakland and who'd they play last week? No, they played the Commanders. It's Commanders in Oakland. Did you need a little momentum on 2 trash teams? Yeah, but you got to take care of them. Like the fucking Chiefs, they lost to the Lions week 1. The Chiefs barely beat whoever they played. The Jets, they barely beat them by 3 points. So it's like beat the shitty teams, and he did it. And he beat a decent team a decent team. Shit, probably the favorites from everybody's fucking books in the Dolphins. They crushed them.
Yeah,
they straight up crushed them.
48
shout out to the
20.
Bills defense. The Bills defense was fucking all over Tua, bro.
Right. Flying all
over.
over the field. I will mention they lost Tre'Davious White for the season with a torn Achilles in this game, which is unfortunate because they looked I mean, the Dolphins have been by far the NFL's most higher powered offense, and to make that statement that they did, it does suck to see one of your premier defenders go down like that.
Yeah, no, that's tough. That's tough. But no, their pass defense was good, and their pass rush was insane. And without Von Miller, and they're getting Von Miller back, man.
Could be scary time up there in the AFC East.
The only thing I will say, run defense, if the Bills weren't up so much, it could have been a problem because they were getting gashed. Rushing-wise.
They did let Achon get over 100 yards on like fucking 11 carries or something like that.
8 carries, bro. It was 8 carries.
Sheesh.
Yeah. And Tyreek Hill had a carry for 14 yards, just one. Berrios had a carry for 11, just one. The only person who didn't really eat was Mozart, who he's been playing well all season, but 7 carries, 9 yards. He didn't really do much. But they were running on them easy. So that's something to watch, in the future. But the Bills, I'm not going to say they're favorites because Josh Allen still's got stinkers in him. I need 6 weeks of consistency to be like, all right, I believe in them. But as of right now, they're in the top 5.
Yeah, I picked the Dolphins to win this division. Not an auspicious sign here, but yeah, they still could. I think like the game just kind of got away from them. Mike McDaniel. I know he wants to be aggressive and take shots and all that type of stuff. But to your point, Terry, if you're averaging 8 yards a carry, even if I'm down 14, 21 points, like I'm still gonna, yeah.
It's tough because you only get but so many possessions, and like the clock kind of just keeps moving. Like I get why teams kind of panic in that way, but I don't know, man. Their defense is bad though. Like I don't think their defense is good because they gave up 20 to Denver.
Yeah.
All right. They scored 70, but fucking Denver still scored 20 fucking points. All right. And they gave up 48 to the Bills. I don't know Miami's defense. Like, your offense is high powered and cool, but what if you play the Bills? What if you play like really good teams?
I'm sure
look like this.
I'm sure
week?
Jalen Ramsey's return is going to fix all their problems.
No, it's not. Let me. I'll give you this, right? Because we forget about week 1 because the fucking Dolphins scored 70. They beat the Chargers 36-34, so they gave up 34 to the Chargers. Week 2, they beat the Patriots 24-17. Mac Jones sucks.
Yeah, the Patriots haven't put 17 points up all season.
Yeah. Mac Jones is garbage. You gave up 17 to him, and then you gave up 20 to the Broncos, even though you scored 70. You gave up 48 to the Bills. Their defense is not good. So you can't have a stinker game.
Yeah.
If Tua's not good like this, you're going to lose every time. That's not good.
You ain't wrong, Terry. Let's talk about those also stinking Patriots who haven't scored more than 17 points since that game against the Bills or against the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yeah.
The Patriots, who won 77% of the time when Brady started, have a 26-28 record since. Bill Belichick this last weekend suffered the worst defeat of his nearly 500-game career as a head coach, losing 38-3 at Dallas. Mac Jones didn't even finish the game. He played so poorly, they pulled his ass out in the third quarter.
Bailey Zapp again.
Terry, is Bill Belichick on the hot seat? Can he afford to have another poor season in New England?
Oh, man.
Or let me rephrase the question. Is it time to reevaluate giving Bill Belichick 100% roster control and allowing him to coach the team?
Man, bro, I really don't know, man. Because the nepotism is a problem for me. Hiring his son to be whatever the fuck coach he is. I don't even know who he is. This offensive coordinator's not letting
water boy.
Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, he's the deflator now.
The offensive coordinator's not letting Mac Jones throw. Like, bro, Mac Jones was a fucking, and I get it, it's like a subliminary, whatever you call it, Pro Bowl appearance that he had his rookie year because all the good quarterbacks are in the playoffs and the Pro Bowls during like round 2 or whatever the fuck. But
and like 6 guys just declined and we're like, we're good, actually.
Yeah. But I mean, he was actually decent. Like, he showed promise. To go from that to what we see now and where they're saying like he can't throw past fucking 20 yards. And I get you guys don't draft receivers. You guys love doing your we don't give a fuck who the receiver is, wheel. That was cool when you had Tom Brady, but you don't have him anymore. Defense looks okay, but Cowboys killed him.
Guys, hold on, Terry. I need to interrupt you real quick because, I know we always say that. Tom Brady had Wes Welker, who was a multiple-time Pro Bowler and one of the greatest slot receivers ever.
You want to go over the
He had
receivers?
Julian Edelman, who won Super Bowl MVP, and he had Randy Moss. Who's the number one receiver for the Patriots right now? Devontae Parker?
Bro, but he turned Wes Welker into Wes Welker. He turned Julian Edelman into Julian Edelman.
Hey, Wes Welker looked pretty damn good in Denver too, didn't he?
That was after, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Julian Edelman came out of nowhere. He's a fucking quarterback at Indiana. I mean, come on. Like, we're going to sit here and say he was supposed to be fucking really good?
No, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, like, he ended up playing with good players. I don't see anybody on this Patriots roster who's like, I mean, their number one receiver would be like a number 4 receiver on any other team in the NFL. He's terrible.
They got Juju Smith.
He sucks.
Juju Smith had 987 yards last year with the Chiefs. And I know that's Patrick Mahomes.
Which sucks. That's terrible considering Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback and he threw
for 5,000 yards. Travis Kelce was the number one guy. I'm just saying.
He's the number one receiver.
They don't have a receiver that's good.
Bro, hold on. Mahomes threw for over 5,000 yards. Travis Kelce got 1,200 of those yards. We're talking about 900 yards for Juju Smith-Schuster as a number one receiver. Like, that's some type of accomplishment. He can't separate. He can't catch. He can't beat people deep. Like, what does he do?
Was he the number
makes
one
him a number one receiver? Yeah.
I guess if you say so. I was just saying, as a receiver, a part of the team, he did well. But if you want to say he was the number one and he only got 9, I get it. I got you. I can understand that.
I just think maybe Belichick is still a good coach. I think not even maybe. I think he is still a really good coach.
He's a good coach.
But I think maybe it's time to consider not letting him draft a center from a Division III school in the first round.
Because he never gets top dudes. Like, they need a receiver. I think their defense is legitimately decent. Their defense is pretty good. They just need offensive guys. And let Mac Jones throw the fucking ball. Like, you're not helping Mac Jones at all. And you're not going to play like they beat the Jets because they have a bad quarterback. And the Dolphins only scored 24 in them. That's really good fucking defense. The Eagles scored 25. They only lost by 5. Cowboys, I mean, that was basically their defense just dominated. But it's like, you're not going to play a fucking absolutely garbage quarterback every week, Bill. You need an offense, bro. Like, you got to get fucking receivers. Even if you don't let Mac Jones throw, they're not open. Okay? When they fucking pan out and they're just like, look, he's got protection, but there's no separation. Everyone sucks. I don't get it. Draft fucking Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. Do something. The fuck? This shit I don't like watching the Patriots anymore.
Even if he was available, Belichick would pass on him for a guard from Valdosta State.
Get a fucking fullback from Akron.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God, dude.
Speaking of discouraging offensive performances, the number one pick in the NFL, Bryce Young, returned to the field, taking over for Andy Dalton since he already was injured in week 2. He dinked and dunked his way to 204 yards, which was a season high, despite completing 25 passes. His yards per attempt, 4.8, ranked 33rd in the league. Keep in mind there's only 32 teams. And his expected points added per drop pack, minus 0.26, is 35th.
Yeah. 35th? Oh, my God.
Yeah, bro. So not
How
only
many teams are in the NFL?
32. The only time this season that the Panthers have scored 17 points is when Andy Dalton started.
Hey, we're back in the Matt Rule era, baby.
The bad news is when you guys go 2-15, you have to give the second overall pick to the Bears.
Yeah.
Terry, what is the silver lining in this dark cloud over Charlotte and the Carolinas in general?
Like always, they say, the defense is decent. Guys, Here's the thing about having a good defense and a bad offense. Your defense is tired, and they don't look good anymore. Okay? Your offense goes 4 and out all the fucking time. These guys are good, but you're making them sprint. You know, they're running too many miles. All right? They're fucking football players. They're big as shit. They're not supposed to be running fucking 8 miles a game. Okay? Like, their defense is good and legitimate, but if you just continuously give the other team opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, eventually they're going to get to 21 points. And you guys can't score more than fucking 17. So once you get to fucking 17, it's over. The Panthers cannot win. It's done. And we said this in the beginning. This was not the draft to give up picks and draft a fucking quarterback first overall. You just had to be fucking greedy. Fucking greedy ass owner had to be greedy, and everybody got all excited about it. But look what you got. He looks like the worst quarterback of the bunch. And I think he is.
He sure does. Turned the football over again on a strip sack this past Sunday. You know, Frank Reich, he was so good.
Frank Reich?
Oh yeah, he was so impressive in his late night dinners with David Tepper and his wife, who is a part of the decision making process, despite not doing any of the NFL training stuff. He spoke this season about how the Panthers are here to compete. You know, we're not in a rebuild. We gave up all these assets. We're going for the playoffs. I'm still waiting for them to start pounding. I know the hashtag is keep pounding, but you guys are 0-4, and the only time you scored 17 points was with Andy Dalton back there. So I don't know positives are there to take away from this season. I do feel vindicated that I said this was a horrific move a couple months ago.
Yeah, we said this.
Surrounded by Panthers fans and their unbridled optimism all season long, off season long. Yeah. I've stood fast. I've laughed in their faces, and I will continue laughing at them for the next 13 games of this season.
It might be a couple of years. They don't have a pick, so they can't get another quarterback. This shit's done. You gave up your best offensive asset. And I'm not talking about DJ Moore. I'm talking about Foreman. You gave up the best running back you had. He was a fucking bruiser. You need a bruiser. Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders are... I'm not trying to say derogatory words. They're not good. Okay?
You don't have to tell me. I have Miles Sanders in fantasy. He's my starting running back.
Why would you pick him up? He sucks.
Because I blew my first pick on Travis Kelce. That's why.
I think you saw the name Miles Sanders and you were like, oh, the Philly running back. He's good. And you were like, yeah, I'll take him. No, this ain't Philly anymore. You don't have Jalen Hurts, one of the best running quarterbacks ever. These guys, Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard, they suck. They're not getting it done. You gave up Foreman. You gave up DJ Moore for this Bryce Young kid. I would have rather seen fucking Baker Mayfield again, to be honest. Give me a good defense in Baker Mayfield, who's actually decent in Tampa Bay.
Who's playing like the best quarterback in the NFC South right now.
Maybe Baker was just hurt these past couple of years. Maybe he was hurt because he looks fucking good. Bryce Young looks bad.
Maybe you need wide receivers in an offseason. Maybe that as well.
I heard Claypool was open. You want to go ahead and pick him up?
Yeah.
God, they suck.
Nobody's more open to Chase Claypool, who's standing by himself in a Bears parking lot like Will Smith in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I just don't want to live in North Carolina if I have to have this on my TV screen, bro. Like, please, can we just go back to like 92 when I only could watch Washington and Atlanta? Like, I'm so sick of the Panthers. They suck. They've sucked for such a long time. They've only been good for like 5 seasons since they started the existence of the organization of the franchise. Dude, they're a bad fucking franchise, man.
The buzz in Charlotte was so cute week 1. Like, the whole city turned out and they're like, #1 pick. We're on our way up. We have a positive trajectory. Bryce Young is Peyton Manning, but with wheels. These are the things that I've heard. No one's processed information faster than him since Peyton Manning. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, my God.
Enjoy it, guys, because I certainly am. I
told you they should have taken C.J. Stroud, and you said Anthony Richardson, and they both look better than this kid.
You're right. I tell you,
who else C.J. Stroud went to a horrible team. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you good. I'm excited to get a look at him next week when they play the Falcons. Another dude who was enjoying his life this past week was Zach Wilson, living his best life in front of. He knew Taylor Swift was in the box, But he didn't have eyes on her. He had eyes on Mama Kelsey. Zach Wilson was trying to make a statement. Somehow he managed to outplay Patrick Mahomes, even though they lost, and became the first QB ever to have fewer interceptions and more completions, passing yards, and touchdowns in a game against Mahomes in college or the NFL.
Holy shit, this guy's a fucking Hall of Famer. Damn, Mahomes. That's crazy. That's an insane stat, bro.
Do you think Zach Wilson did enough to prevent them for trading for Kirk Cousins? Or for calling Matt Ryan and see, hey, are you tired of working for CBS?
I think he did. I'm actually interested in what you think about it. I think he played well. He lost the game. He fumbled the snap. But
yeah,
honestly, bro, he looked good. But what do you think about what he did?
I think he did enough to call the dogs off for a week or two. I think he may have bought himself 2 weeks, maybe 3 with this performance. You know, Jacoby Brissett is still out there, I think, on the Commanders roster. You know, I think he's gettable for like a 3rd-round pick or something like that if the Jets are really serious about making the playoffs and salvaging the season. But I do think it's the best performance of his young career so far. And he had some moments where it wasn't just, you know, wide receiver bubble screens and slants and – you know, button hooks. Like, he was throwing passes into tight windows, leading guys, throwing it before they got out of their break, had perfect placement on a couple of them. It was an impressive performance. I can't lie.
Nah, he looked good, bro. He looked good. Now, Chris Collinsworth, you need to calm the fuck down. All right.
Oh my.
Like, calm down, bro. Like, Zach, he played decent, okay? But I didn't need all that fucking... I don't even know what that was. My man was. That was a lot.
Al, I've never seen a kid with this type of talent, Al. I mean, when you combine the ability to throw the ball 40, 60 yards downfield off one foot,
oh my god,
to evade the sacks, Al. If he just hadn't dropped that snap out, we would have put him right in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, but to be honest though, like if he does play like this with the defense that they have, I can see them making the playoffs, even in a tough division. Like he played really well, bro.
On a related note, Terry, I want to see Chris Collinsworth just fucking roast somebody one time. Just be like, this guy is a fucking bum. Ow! You know what? If I were the Chicago Bears, I wouldn't let any of the coaching staff get on the bus on the way back home, Al.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to see him go, like, mercilessly just rip somebody to shreds for, like...
He never does.
Yeah.
If he ever says someone does something bad, it'll be quick and very monotone, and then he'll just move on to somebody else doing something great because he just doesn't like to go against the quarterbacks. I like it though. It's funny. That shit was funny as hell. It was hilarious.
I think like he should pick 1 week a season where he just goes the fuck in.
Oh wow, this guy sucks.
Hey, right.
Oh,
get him off my TV screen. He's drawing dicks on the teleprompter. Like,
but Zach looked good.
You can cut over to the start of the play and you just see him drawing a poop emoji next to Zach Wilson. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to for Chris Collinsworth.
No, for sure. Hey, yo, do we have any questions about these Chiefs receivers yet?
Yeah.
That was bad.
I think, let me ask you this one. Which Chiefs receiver are you most confident in?
Oh, man, I'd probably say I'd go Rice.
Rashee Rice?
Yeah, I'd go Rashee Rice.
Okay. A rookie. Rookie from SMU.
You like Kadarius Toney?
No. Come on.
I mean, he literally lost them a game.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney had the worst game I've ever seen by an NFL wide receiver. So he's been disqualified from this conversation. Sky Moore just continues to just leave a bad taste in your mouth. He leaves you wanting more. They should change his first name to Wanting from Sky. I do think Justin Ross is probably like the highest ceiling out of everybody. If I had to place a bet. Target? And that's the thing. It's like he plays like 4 snaps a game and then catches a touchdown and gets the fuck out of there. Like, I understand he had some injury issues in college and everything, but out of this
he's
poo
good.
platter of wide receivers, I think he's probably going to end up being the best one.
Yeah,
And he
honestly,
plays the
bro,
least.
yeah, no, that's true. Honestly, Travis Kelsey looks a step slow. I'm not gonna lie. I'll definitely say that. Do you agree with
Bro,
that or no?
I mean, what do all these boxing trainers tell you about having tired legs the night of the fight, right? We already saw the bruises on Taylor Swift's knees. We know
uh,
Travis Kelsey has been putting in work overtime. As somebody who drafted him #1 in my fantasy football league, you got to keep your eye on the prize, dude. All right, don't get caught up in Taylor mania. You
don't
guys
get
are
mad at
trying
him
to
because
win
you made a
backup Super
dumb
Bowls.
decision. Don't get mad at him because you made a dumbass decision. Look, he's really good.
Go ahead and get rid of Taylor Swift before you get too invested and she makes a #1 fucking hit about breaking up with you.
Nah, I'm sure they're just getting to know each other. Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, Marquez Valdez Scantling, Sky Moore, Justin Ross. That's probably who did we say had the worst receiving core in the league?
The
Was
Patriots.
it them? Oh yeah, the Chiefs are in contention. The Chiefs are in contention. If Travis Kelsey that step slow, yikes, brother. I mean, like I know the Chiefs defense is really good, but I don't think they can win the Super Bowl unless they try to sneak something. Something's got to happen, bro. Like, are they just gonna be a fucking running team and you try to just dink and dunk it?
I think they're just hoping Travis Kelsey's knee gets better by the time the playoffs start. And if we have to if we have to drop a game in week 14 where he just like sits out for 2 weeks and
just
heals up,
chill.
like then we got to do that.
Because also
I agree with you. Like they're not a team that can win a Super Bowl by running the football and playing good defense. I don't think that's sustainable with the running backs that they have on their roster.
Yeah, I mean, cause even as good as Mahomes is, like you said running backs, but you meant receivers. I know what you mean.
No, I mean the running backs. I don't think they can consistently.
Isaiah
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like
he's got 20 carries, 115 yards.
Yeah, not impressed. Like he had that one big run that kind of skewed the statistics. Otherwise, it would have been 19 carries for 45 yards, which is more in line with what he's done over the course of his career. He can't catch passes at all. You know what I mean? The man has no wiggle whatsoever. Just straight line. He's Jaylen Brown with a football.
And did you hear fucking Kurt Herbstreit or whoever was calling that game? They said they were comparing him to fucking Marshawn Lynch, and it was Troy Aikman. I was like, Marshawn Lynch, calm the fuck down with that comparison. That was ridiculous.
Maybe we should compare him to Justice Hill. I think that's a better comp.
Just compare him to any other black man with dreads, and I'm sure he'd be way more comparable than fucking Marshawn Lynch, who's a fucking Hall of Fame running back. What the fuck? Anyways.
I didn't even think about that. That of course that's why he made the comparison.
He's so shifty. No, he ain't. He ain't shifty. He's decent. He looks better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's kind of sucks and lost a step. But Marshawn Lynch. But besides the point, yeah, they're in trouble, bro. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they're doing too much. Too many packages. Too many different guys. Too many different looks. It's too much.
Yeah. Back to basics.
You need your receivers need reps. They suck.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hey, take the low-hanging fruit, and you guys finally have a good defense, and you may have to win some games 24-21 in the first half of the season as you build chemistry and build rapport with Mahomes. I got no questions about Pat Mahomes. He'll make it work even with a TGI Fridays appetizer sampler out there at wide receiver.
Yeah, but I honestly think the Bills right now are better than them, though, because the Bills have a good defense. Dolphins' defense sucks, so they can probably get away with beating the Dolphins. But currently, right now, I don't know. I mean, the Bills, with the pass rush and everything, and their offense is, clicking on all cylinders, I don't know if they can beat them right now, as currently constructed. So
yeah, we got 13 more weeks to go. Right now, I agree with you. I don't think they'd beat them.
Yeah.
13 weeks seems a bit longer for some teams than it does for others. For Mahomes and the Chiefs, it seems pretty short. We only have 13 weeks to get everything together and get into Super Bowl form. For other teams like the Carolina Panthers or the Cincinnati Bengals, 13 weeks may seem like an eternity. Joe Burrow has not looked like himself. We know he's carrying a calf injury. They got absolutely dog walked by the Titans.
Oh,
Right
man.
now, Cincinnati is last in the league in yards per play, 4.0. Joe Burrow's 4.8 yards per attempt is that's also the worst in the league, and is 3.6 yards per attempt less than his career average entering this season.
Yep. That's crazy. Dude.
I know they lost some pieces on the defensive end. Like, I know Joe Burrow is carrying an injury. I feel like for the Bengals, you're not making the playoffs. This is not the team that went 0-2 and then galvanized itself together. Rest Joe Burrow. Like don't let him hurt himself on this big contract. And let's try to get a high draft pick for next season, because I think it's a wrap this year in Cincinnati.
I'm disappointed in myself, honestly. I'd like to tell all the viewers I apologize. I drafted Jamar Chase high again. I fucked up. Last year he fucking broke his hip. This year Joe Burrow sucks. This is your savior. Your king. Joe Burrow. 30 passes, 165 yards. That's awful. No touchdowns, no picks. Cool,
that's worse than
picks.
Bryce Young.
It's bad, bro. He looks really bad, man. This is unfortunate, man, but I think you're right. This season's done. I don't know. He's the reason I hate football sometimes. Just this shit. Highest paid fucking quarterback in the league, and he just sucks. I mean, like LeBron James played in the playoffs with plantar fasciitis, bro. And he was still getting like 26 a game. Joe Burrow looks like the worst quarterback in the league. Like, what are we doing, bro? I'm supposed to watch this garbage?
That offensive line ain't doing him no favors either.
But they never have, though.
Yeah, but at least he had a good calf to help him step up in the pocket and move out of trouble and all this other shit. Now he's like 1.6 seconds. All right, I got to throw it 4 yards. They're only 5 yards downfield. Like,
yeah, and that's why I don't understand why he's playing. Yeah.
He shouldn't. Give up on the season. Sit his ass down until he's completely healthy. Like, that's the recipe. Let's get a high draft pick. Let's build some chemistry for next year. Because 4 weeks into this season, Cincinnati, your season is over.
Yeah. Bro, to be completely honest, I don't see why you can't just play the backup quarterback, max protect, and let your three... You always like to say, we got 3 number 1 receivers. Let them fucking get open and then throw the ball to him. Joe Burrow can't move.
Terry, that's a great point. I think also at this point, T. Higgins is a free agent at the end of the year. I think you trade T. Higgins, and you do it while his value is still high, and you can get a second-round pick or a first-round pick for him. With all the teams that would... Rib. Yeah, he just broke his rib?
Yeah, fractured it.
You'll probably be back in 4 weeks, something like that. Imagine the impact that he could have on the Patriots, the Panthers.
Oh, man.
The Chiefs.
Yep. You know what? I don't know. These quarterbacks are so bad. I don't even know if I would want to go to a team that has a bad quarterback. If I'm being completely honest, this shit is hard to watch. Are you having problems watching some of these games with these fucking quarterbacks?
No.
Like, this fucking Bengals game was crazy.
Because
you got a bad quarterback.
Yeah, I haven't been watching. Falcons. I've been practicing self-care. After the Falcons shit the bed, I turn the TV off, go jack off, and play some basketball.
Nah, man, it's just tough, bro. But yeah, the Bengals are done for this season. I got nothing else to say. The Ravens are probably going to win the division. They fucking
making me look good
all over the Browns.
Let's go.
Yeah, Browns looking good though, but Ravens killed them.
That Lamar, he's not getting a lot of headlines for his start so far, but the Ravens overcoming a ton of injuries. I tipped him to win MVP, or you did actually, I think, and I co-signed it. I think he's on his way, man. Your man is looking like very in control, like not forcing anything, using his athletic talents, not being like, I'm going to prove to people I can be a passer, but he's doing everything in the flow of the game. And it's just been really impressive so far.
He's a beast. Not much else to say. I honestly though, the SmackDown was a surprise. 28-3, and Cleveland's defense.
Oh God, I'm getting PTSD, Terry. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Sorry, Falcons fan. Falcons fan.
I see Matt Ryan taking a 12-yard sack when we're in field goal range.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
I can't say 28-3. I apologize. 4 touchdowns to a field goal. That's a dominating win versus the Browns, who everyone was saying, they look like the 2000 Ravens. They look like the 2001 Tampa Bay Bucks.
Can we stop with that shit? Like, every season we do this. Like, they just have a good defense.
They do, yeah.
Especially like 4 weeks into a season. Yeah, they're as good as one of the best 2 defenses in NFL history who gave up like 13 points a game. Can we just stop with that?
They're a good defense.
You know what? Don't have like they look like the 2018 Tennessee Titans. How about that? There's nothing wrong with being the 18 Titans.
The Steel Curtain, the 85 Bears, the Monsters of the Midway. Right. They look like the Cleveland Browns have a good defense and Deshaun Watson sucks. Okay? That's what it looks like.
Pretty much.
That's it. But he didn't play this game though, right? He had like a concussion or some shit.
What happened? He get mollywopped? Somebody got revenge?
Nah, he just did. He didn't play this entire game. I didn't watch most of this game because I saw he wasn't playing, so I was like, ugh, they're probably gonna lose. But I didn't think it was gonna be like this.
Did you watch Monday Night Football with the Giants last night and the Seahawks?
That was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. Daniel Jones, what a mistake the Giants did by fucking paying him all that money and not paying Saquon. That's silly. That's absolutely fucking silly. This dude looks, bruh. And I get he played against the Cowboys, who have a great defense, the 49ers, who have a great defense, and who did they play last night? The Seahawks?
Yeah.
Who did not come in having a great defense. They actually had a fucking piss-poor defense.
And well, he made them look like a great defense.
Bro, 10 sacks?
Daniel Jones making his coach throw the fucking iPad on the ground, break it over his knee like Tom Brady. You see that shit?
Well, did you see Darren Waller was open? Darren Waller was open in the corner of the end zone. But look, you can't give Daniel, like, I know we get mad at quarterbacks. Maybe not you specifically. I'm fucking very upset about this crop of quarterbacks that are playing right now. But if I got sacked 7 times and Darren Waller wasn't immediately open after, 1.8 seconds, I probably would have thrown that pick 6 as well, bro. Because how much more fucking time do you think I got? He got blindsided like 3 times. He fumbled the shit like twice. He's getting hit all over the place. What the fuck is a coach? This guy was open in the corner. Motherfucker, if you were there, you would have probably thrown the same shit. Nobody's open. Throw it. Fuck it. Get it out of my hands. He got fucking hit by 300-pound guys all game. He got mollywopped, bro. Like,
He'd see ghosts sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think he's great, but I don't think you need to humiliate the kid on fucking national TV. Like, your O-line sucks. You drafted a lot of offensive linemen in the past 3 years, and they just sucked. Maybe you guys are bad at developing offensive linemen. That's not on Daniel Jones. You guys fucking suck. Like, I think the Giants have drafted the most offensive linemen in the past 3 years than anybody in the NFL. And they all are bad.
I believe that.
Yeah, they're just not good.
And you're going to need a good offensive line when your quarterback has hands the size of Donald Trump's.
Does he have small hands?
Yeah, man. Why do you think he's led the NFL in fumbles since he entered the league? He averages like 7 fumbles a season. It's unbelievable.
He fumbles a lot. He does fumble a lot. He's honestly very fucking odd because he really wasn't even that good at Duke. Like, they won a lot of games and shit, but like he can't pass. I just never understand where like these coaches are like, oh yeah, this guy, big arm, but you know the accuracy was absolute ass. Take him first round.
They get seduced by all the fucking pre-draft underwear Olympics nonsense where it's like, well, he scored a 40 on the Wonderlic and he actually got into Duke for academics and football had nothing to do with it. He ran a 4.48 840. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. And then you forget like the context of processing information and like clutch moments, you know what I mean? Discerning in tight spaces, like where to go with the football, all the things that actually are important on game day. And we just like overlook all of it for the narratives that we want to write about somebody.
Yeah. And you're right about the small hands thing though, because honestly, bro, I mean, my hands are kind of small as a man who has like kind of small hands. A fucking NFL football is kind of big. I ain't gonna fake.
Yeah. Like, I be fumbling that shit all the time. 100%.
If a big motherfucker hit me, yeah. But the way he fumbles shit, like the dude that got that strip sack last night, hit him in the fucking shoulder, and he dropped the ball. Like, you got to be running with 2 hands on the ball, man, every fucking time. That's unacceptable, though. That's unacceptable
By
shit.
the end of the season, we go see Daniel Jones throwing passes like Weston McKinney's throw-ins.
2 hands, baby. 2-hand push. It just sucks, man. The Giants, man, y'all are in trouble. You gave money to Daniel Jones. That's on y'all. The whole organization, I think, fucked up. And I don't think Dayball's a bad coach. It's just
reigning coach of the year.
Tough situation, man. It's just a tough situation, you know?
Anything you want to add on the NFL this past week?
Eagles are undefeated. They still don't look impressive. Chargers, your boy Herbert won another game versus the Raiders, who suck, but they only won by a touchdown. Nothing crazy. I mean, 49ers look like the favorites for everything for me.
Can we stop hiring Belichick's assistants to be head coaches? Like, can we officially be done with that?
Which one is it?
Josh McDaniels.
Is he the Cardinals coach?
No, he's he's the Raiders coach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're horrible.
They were good under that. What was his name? The Italian dude who was the special teams coach, the interim coach.
Yeah, he was decent.
Yeah, they were great. Like, and then no,
but they got
sorry.
Garoppolo.
We got a chance to get a once in a lifetime opportunity to get Josh McDaniels, who couldn't cut it in Denver, who accepted the job at Indianapolis and then reneged a month later. They're like,
they picked up Garoppolo, bro. Like, that's the fucking problem. You should have got him. That was stupid.
Another Patriots tie. McDaniel's like, oh, I coached him in New England. I know exactly what he can do.
Yeah, suck.
Yeah, look out for Matt Flynn. He might be coming to the Raiders soon if Jimmy G gets hurt.
What side of the page are you on, Brock Purdy?
I didn't even know there is a side of the page. The motherfucker's a baller.
Well, some people think he's not good because it's just Kyle Shanahan. Like, because Alex Smith looked good, Colin Kaepernick looked good, and Jimmy Garoppolo looked good.
How'd Trey Lance look?
Purdy's just another. He might be one of the worst quarterbacks you've seen.
All right, so I'm gonna go.
How many games did he play? He played like 3 games.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Brock Purdy is good at football because
Trey Lance sucked in 3 games.
Well, I think he looks better than Jimmy G did too. I mean, there's a reason they left Jimmy G's ass on the bench last season. You know what I mean?
I put him third. I put him third behind Kaepernick and Smith.
We'll see.
You think he's better than Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, I think he might be. To be honest, man.
Colin Kaepernick took him to the Super Bowl, though.
I like his propensity to take good risks. Like, I think that's what's impressed with me the most with Brock Purdy.
He's definitely risky, yeah.
But he doesn't take, really shitty risks like Desmond Ridder thrown into triple coverage on in the second quarter on a 3rd and 6. He'll take a risk when it's a moment that could flip the game, when it's a matchup that he likes.
Yeah. No, that's true. They're good. I mean, once again, another, where is fucking... Oh, no, Debo played. He just didn't get any targets. That's crazy. Or he didn't get any catches. That's insane. Another game, Debo healthy, Kittle healthy, McCaffrey healthy, undefeated still.
Get that white man the ball and get out the way. That's the offense.
if those 3 dudes are healthy, they win every fucking time. It's unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And probably Fred Warner, too, if you want to add other of their stars in there. Or what? No. What's the dude's name? Is that Fred Warner?
Yeah, Fred Warner.
Okay.
Him, Hufanga, all those guys that they got out there. They'd be flying around, man.
Is it fair?
They're one of the best 3 teams in the league, I think.
The 49ers? I think the 49ers are the best team in the league. I think they were the best team in the league last year. Brock Purdy just broke his elbow and they didn't have a quarterback.
Fair enough.
Is that fair to say? I think they could have beat the Eagles.
Yeah. Hey, I'll stop you when you're wrong. but I ain't stopping you.
I'm just saying. But yeah, that's it. I got nothing else.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back on Friday to preview the week ahead. Who knows if James Harden manages to push his way out of the door between now and then, or if another NBA star becomes disgruntled in the next 4 days. Wouldn't rule it out in the modern NBA.
Yeah. What are the odds on that? Minus 10,000.
Better than Bryce Young win Rookie of the Year.
Oh God! Hey, Bears Commanders Thursday night. That's one of the worst Thursday night games ever. But I gotta watch the fucking game.
Can we not just flex that till Sunday at 1? Can we just put it in the morass of 1 p.m. games?
Oh my God! Bad coaching in Thursday night football just sounds like a goddamn disaster. Everyone, don't watch this game. Just do not watch this game, guys. We can't allow the NFL to take our Thursdays up. Come on,
Chase Claypool, if you were listening, I want you to live stream your own commentary during this game from your house. Hop on Twitch. You'll play the part of Chris Collinsworth. If you want, I'll join you and be Al Michaels. All right? Let's give the people what they want and peel back the hood a little bit.
Wait. Let me get a prediction. Who's winning that?
Who is it again? Cardinals, Bears?
No, Bears, Commanders.
Commanders.
Oh, you gonna do me dirty like that? That's fucked up, man. I feel it though. The Washington is favored by 6.5.
I don't know if I'm doing you dirty, then, dog.
it's in Washington. Bad field though. We're used to a bad field in Chicago. Our field sucks, just like theirs. So we'll see how it goes. Justin, just be good. Give me another 2.5 quarters. Okay?
Hey, Justin, put in some earplugs after you get the
play call?
Yeah, get the play call and then hit mute.
Turn it off.
All right.
Yeah, turn it off. I'm calling my own plays. QB draw, guys. 50 of them.
They probably put up 48.
Most likely then. But yeah, that's it. I got nothing else to say.
All right. Until then, Chicago sit down, North Carolina continue to stand up.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.